In today's video we will be exploring the incredibly young but controversial project that is ETHENA, and how I'm personally playing this whole thing, what my opinions are, and if I have any allocations. I have profound feelings on this topic because first, the crypto dollar narrative has always been one of my favorite in the space, which is why second, I was around during the whole Terra Luna event but came out unscathed because of the very topics we're about to discuss in this video. We'll start with exactly that. Terra Luna and ETHENA are almost nothing alike. It's just from surface level they seem to have similar themes around them. A new decentralized dollar gaining fast and euphoric traction due to how it can hedge against the centralized tethers and circles, where this time I never have to exit crypto fully and can keep my dollars within the system, gaining incredible yield at the same time that TradeFi can never even come close to. The reality is this idea will never go away. Terra Luna tried it and failed. Many others have also tried it, most of which you've never even heard of have also failed. It just so happens ETHENA is the major player in that realm this cycle, where if it fails many people will get wrecked, but we'll just have a new kid on the block after this one. The point is this'll keep being attempted over and over again until it works, where finally once it does work, the governance token of that project will instantly propel to a top 5, top 10 crypto project, no questions asked. In terms of right now, that gives a very interesting value proposition to ETHENA for this cycle in particular. USDe pretty much proved algo stable coins can never work. Everyone already kind of had this idea, but that officially put it to bed. This time ETHENA proposes the leverage of funding rates to keep pegged to $1. So if you're unaware, when you go on ETHENA and mint USDe, they open a perp short position of equal value, a type of delta hedge where you're long one side and short the other, causing the two sides to cancel out, and all you're left with is the yield from funding rates, which evidently can get pretty juicy at times. Obviously, though, it isn't that simple. There are risks involved. The first question that comes to mind is what happens during large drawdowns where funding turns negative and it'd be USDe instead paying to keep that short position alive. How much collateral is there? Do we truly know if it'll be enough during aggressive cascade events? This has a lot to do with my investing thesis around this thing, which we'll get to in a second, but I do also want to bring up that during our recent sell-off with the whole war narrative, one of the main things I kept my eye on was the USDe peg. Not because I thought we were about to depeg or anything, but realize how young this thing is. It's barely been a couple months. Any chance I get to see this thing react during a bearish event is one I'll take, because it's going to be hard to get a lot of those during this bull market. It does seem like pretty much nothing happened, so that's good news. Definitely its biggest test so far, and we can barely even call it that. Very quick, if you're enjoying the videos so far, make sure you're subscribed because we post this type of content often and you don't want to miss out. Let's get to the nitty-gritty now, what we've been waiting for, my thesis around ETHENA and how I plan to play this thing. Like I just said, during the bull market I expect ETHENA to be perfectly fine. I think the peg will perform phenomenal. This in turn, every passing day will give people more and more confidence that we're not going to get another Luna, and that they can park their capital into something giving over 20%, which in a lot of ways is retirement type of yield depending on where you live and how much size you have. More importantly, I think the ETHENA governance token does excellent. I think it'll do a similar run to what Terra Luna did last cycle. Remember, however, Luna was an L1 with a ton of other developments, so perhaps not getting to 40 billion or whatever the relative equivalent is in today's market, but a huge parabolic run nonetheless. This run will likely be hated. It'll be controversial. ETHENA is already creating tribalism, and this usually elicits bullish price action. As it continues going up, many fudders and haters will allocate a lot of time and energy to why that shouldn't be the case. This in turn will likely cause more bullish price action. Put in other words, yes, I am buying ETHENA in anticipation of this run. I'll get to exact price analysis in a bit. But I should also make it clear that as bullish as I may seem on ETHENA, I will not come anywhere close to minting USDe. There's absolutely no point of holding USDe, as even the blue chips like BTC, ETH, and SOL will well outperform the yield. And I won't be taking profits into it either, which I know is something a lot of you are interested in. I plan to make a video on this later on in the bull run, but I've always held the viewpoint that you want to minimize your exposure to crypto as much as possible during the bull to bear market transition. That means no DeFi, no centralized exchanges, no stables, and especially no high-yielding stables like ETHENA. Remember, it's not that one day comes and all of a sudden we decide the bear market is here. There's usually a mass cascade event that kickstarts that transition and has huge ripple effects to go along with it. The market was already showing incredible weakness after its bull market high in November 2021, but the official bear market started with what again? The collapse of Terra Luna in April 2022. After that the market tanked. Celsius went down, BlockFi went down, 3AC, and a bunch of these other funds blew up. And so if you haven't figured it out by now, ETHENA blowing up sort of just is an obvious ignition for the collapse of this cycle. Which is why I don't want my money locked up in USDe, and why I plan to take profits on ENA before this event. It's the same exact play I did with Terra Luna last cycle. I had strong exposure in Luna because I know how much people would love the decentralized stablecoin high-yield narrative, where oh by the way there was a ton of hate to go along with it the entire rally up. But I never once owned UST or had any exposure to Anchor Protocol for that very idea of a bull to bear transition. I should note though that I do strongly hope that ETHENA succeeds. My dream scenario is it's not the blow up of ETHENA that starts the bear market, and is instead something else. When that happens we'll get a massive deleveraging across the board. The ETFs probably start dumping hard, just chaos all around. Hopefully ETHENA depegs and the convos start about here we go again. Mass FUD, it goes down to like even 90 cents, but then is able to survive that turbulence and regain peg for the eventual bear. If that happens, that is when I start parking heavy stables in USDe and make the governance token one of my main priorities to accumulate next bear market, because like I said, whoever solves the decentralized dollar will be a top 10 crypto project without a doubt. And another thing, during that time USDe won't be giving wild yields like 70-80%. It'll go down and normalize around 10 to maybe 20%. So stop pulling out your calculator thinking you'll get those 50% plus returns. But as for right now, ENA currently sits a little over 1 billion on market cap. And unless it somehow goes to zero during the bull, I just can't see how someone can make the argument it won't get to 10 to 20 billion in market cap at the very least. Do be careful of the high FDV, but there's a reason this is the select few crypto I put in the 8 to 10x tier in my ranking top 100 crypto tier list video. To recap, here's the plan. I scooped up the ETHENA governance token after its launch and during the latest dip, where I plan to sell it for a 10x on the lower end, and will probably aim for higher targets when we get there. I will not be partaking in USD, but hope that it continues garnering the type of success it has so far, having the highest TVL of any stable this soon after its TG. I will make sure I'm not involved with ETHENA whatsoever near the end of this bull in hopes of avoiding collateral damage during that bull to bear transition, where at the same time I hope for massive amounts of stress and FUD around the protocol. If it survives, I will begin using USDe. If not, hopefully at the very least it ended up being a profitable trade during this 2024 bull market. For more content like this, smash that like and subscribe button. Sign up to a crypto exchange with link in description if you want cheap fees and big bonuses. And I will catch you all in the next one.